producer George Lucas says the emphasis is on quality as well as price.
We shot on 16 millimeter. We've done a lot of cost-cutting things that have helped us save money. We've written all the scripts ahead of time and planned it out more like a feature than like a episodic series.
We try to make it as good as we can make it, but it is a business, and that's what we're in, and we're making product the same as anyone who makes vacuum cleaners or refrigerators, and we have to make them for the right price if we want to make a profit at the end of the day.
Jim Moray, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
In the Netherlands, the movies are going to the dogs. Literally, man's best friend was invited to a showing of the movie Beethoven in the Netherlands. But not just any dogs were asked to the movie. It was only for St. Bernards. The Hollywood comedy features what else but St. Bernard that takes over the household of a family headed by Charles Grodin. About 100 of the big dogs and their owners joined the movie-going audience. Democratic presidential hopeful Bill Clinton says if elected, he'd throw a blowout of an inaugural ball. Clinton told Rolling Stone magazine that he'd invite the greats from the music world of jazz, rock, folk, and country to play at his party. His list would include Paul McCartney, the Four Tops, Dave Brubeck, Judy Collins, and Dolly Parton. The Arkansas governor added that, of course, the king, Elvis Presley, would be invited if he was still alive. You don't have to live in California to enjoy so-called California cuisine based on fresh ingredients and lighter cooking styles. The trend began 20 years ago at a small restaurant in Berkeley that's still going strong. Carolyn O'Neill takes us there.
More than just another restaurant in Berkeley, California.
This is wonderful.
Chez Panisse, now 20 years old, is considered the epicenter of California cuisine, where flavor and freshness come first.
Well, it's the historical restaurant of the nation as far as I'm concerned.
We have incredible greens here. I was just thinking about it. Even the greens that we're serving with the prosciutto. We have broccoli rabe that's just been picked this morning and red chard.
How are you doing down there?
Alice Waters opened Chez Panisse in 1971, all part of a delicious vision to recreate the fabulous meals she savored in the south of France.
It was about taste. I wanted to eat what I had tasted in France and in Europe, and I wanted those flavors, those tastes.
So, from the grilled truffled polenta with asparagus, wild mushrooms, and shaved parmesan, to the whole wheat fettuccine with spicy sausage, peppery greens, and toasted crumbs. Palates appreciate the ever-changing menu.
Yes, definitely in terms of the taste.
And while lunch patrons finished their rhubarb cobbler and cinnamon walnut tarts, we visited the kitchen where dinner was underway. A plump pork loin seasoned with fresh rosemary for the entree, and the first course,
some little Alaskan spot prawns, some cockles, and a little singing scallop from Seattle.
It matters most to Alice Waters just where the food comes from.
What is this? Is that a beet? Yes. A white beet? Oh, and a pale pink beet.
She is passionate about supporting small farmers who raise foods organically and welcomes a basket of hand-picked wild mushrooms.
Oh, they're amazingly large anyway. So much of cooking is choosing the right things to cook.
So Waters won't say what's for dinner until she's seen and sampled.
Oh, these are great.
20 years ago, Alice Waters' standards made some call her crazy. Today, she's called a pioneer.
She was way out of her time in trying to wake up the taste buds of American and teaching and so forth. So she's important for that.
What she was doing that nobody else was doing was really cooking from the heart and from the soul.
So it's a passion for me.
And that passion is still apparent. Have you ever seen anyone so excited over turnips?
And some fantastic fluorescent turnips.
Carolyn O'Neill, CNN, Berkeley, California.
The entertainment industry is a major part of the Los Angeles scene, and when the fire, shooting, and lootings began after the Rodney King verdict, entertainers stepped forward to encourage peace on the streets. Arsenio Hall and Bill Cosby used the airwaves to get their pleas for peace across. Other celebrities are joining in as well. Julia Roberts, Tom Cruise, and Goldie Hawn are just a few of the stars who have reportedly agreed to do public service announcements on behalf of the mayor's office. At Warner Brothers Studios, some stars placed their signatures on a wall of justice to show their outrage over the acquittals. And finally, to recap on the latest on the recent violence, a night of relative calm overnight in Los Angeles as thousands of National Guardsmen and federal troops join L.A. police. President Bush speaks to the nation and promises an end to the violence. The Justice Department says it will pursue the Rodney King case as a civil rights matter. King himself appeals for calm and says in a published interview that the 4 officers who beat him lied on the witness stand. And unrest continues in Seattle, with at least 10 serious fires and more looting overnight. That's the news to this hour. Thanks for joining us on News 8 Weekend. We'll continue to update you throughout the day as the events unfold, and News 8 at 5 will have all the latest news.
In the world of luxury automobiles, you expect aerodynamic styling. A beautifully crafted, leather-trimmed interior, the uncompromising safety of driver's and passenger side airbags, and the superior performance of a 24-valve engine. You just don't expect it to be so affordable. The Acura Luxury Lease Program. It's more than a lease. It's a legend.
They wanted one family to adopt us, but it didn't work out.
We were apart for 36 years, but the minute we saw each other, we knew.
I was in town, and I went to get a picture frame.
Tina came in that day for custom framing, and Peggy was doing her own framing as usual.
I looked up.
It was a miracle.
I was shocked that Peggy had a twin, especially one that chose custom framing.
We knew that we must be...
We knew we were the same.
The Great Frame Up, 2 ways to frame, 2 great locations, Northwest 23rd and on Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway. Clearwater Fish and Pond Supply has everything you'll ever need for a water garden or pond. It's the only place where you can actually see working fountains and ponds on display. Choose from their complete line of beautiful statues and figurines by Henry. There's molded ponds of all sizes and a large selection of koi. Clearwater is also the area's local distributor for rain-jet pond lighting. If it has to do with ponds or water gardens, you'll find it at Clearwater Fish and Pond Supply, 198th and Farmington Road in Aloha. You're watching KGW TV Portland, also seen on these translators.